So Jeremy, this is our third summer, and there's been a lot that's happened over this last 4 or 5 months. Can you tell us a little bit about what's changed from the spring till now?
Absolutely, Randy. Yeah. So we added more raspberries to production because the ones we planted last year were doing really well. We finally got in our peach trees. So we have peach trees that we're going to be espaliering, growing across the fence. We added a lot more plum trees to the orchard, and really just kind of trying to put the finalizing touches on our pollinator gardens and creating a space that's welcoming and inviting for people to come on out and check out the garden. As every year, we have to be adaptable to what's happening in the environment. So we were able to adapt with the drought that was existing in the first half of the spring, and then we were quite wet in the last part. So we had to get some covers for some of the crops to be able to protect them a little bit better and make sure that, you know, our game was on point, so to speak.
And I know that there were a few other issues that we had to deal with, and a lot of it stemmed around some labor. Can you talk about what's happened this year?
Yeah, so labor's always been an important thing in making sure that people understand how much work it is in the garden. And this year there were some cuts from some of the funding that we received in regards to the labor and how that would impact what we needed to do on the farm here. So we had to manage differently this year and really prioritize what were the needs that we could actually accomplish.
That's right. And I know that going forward, we would like to get more volunteer help coming on board. And so in addition to the Canada Summer Jobs Program, what other community partners do we work with?
Yeah, so we've actually extended quite a few of our community partners over the last year through the help of our executive director. And it's included things like Youth Coming Out from LUSO, but also our community partners with how we distribute food has really expanded. There's been a lot of thought and input from the community about how do we get more food into neighborhoods.
Right.
And through partnerships with community resource centers and other organizations, we've been able to extend pop-up markets to around 8 that are happening in different communities around the city.
Yeah. So Jeremy, what is actually happening in the garden today?
So today I was actually harvesting carrots, some beets, and I was tasting some raspberries, to be honest with you. Our raspberry patch has flourished amazingly, and we have the most delicious yellow raspberries I've ever eaten, and it's great to be able to share those with the community. We do plan on planting some garlic in the next few weeks as well. It's a first time here, but with what we've seen, the crops that do well here, garlic should be a great addition to things that we've grown this year, like potatoes and, you know, lettuces and carrots and all those lovely things.
Can you tell us how much was actually produced this year?
Yeah, it's a tricky metric to kind of talk about, because I know in our first year we did like 3,000 pounds, and that was like a big thing for us to be able to have such a huge harvest. But what we've actually done is dial in what crops are doing well here, and some of those are lighter crops. And so on average, it's about 2,000 pounds per year that we've had to date of harvests.
Fabulous. And what is the future? What do you see in terms of planting for the future?
Yeah, it's a great question, Randy. I think adapting to what grows well here, but also the addition of new things like an irrigation system to be able to help with those dry times that may come next year, along with protecting some of the crops with some insect netting and some thermal barriers. And really it's a matter of trying to engage community more and being here in this space and creating a welcoming space.
So Jeremy, do you have any last words that you want to chat about?
I think for the most part, I want to thank all the people behind the scenes. So people may come by and see the people working in the garden, but there's a lot more work that happens outside of in the fields that really makes our job meaningful. So not only does the food nourish people, but we have people behind the scenes who are writing grants, both with Siloam and with Urban Roots. We have people on social media who are, you know, trying to engage the community in different ways. And we have community partners and just individuals who are just sharing word of mouth what great experiences they're having with being in our gardens.